Peppa Pig might look simple, but the more you watch, the more questions pile up. There are mysteries in this show that have never been answered. Let's dive into them. Peppa Pig has been on air for over 20 years now, and in that time we've had multiple Christmas episodes, birthday parties, holidays, and even new babies joining the family. But here's the weird part. Nobody ever seems to age. Peppa is still 4, George is still 2, and the grown-ups never look any different. But now with the arrival of baby Evie, fans are starting to wonder if time in Peppa Pig's world might finally be moving forward. Peppa seems a little more mature than before, and George has definitely started saying more words than just dinosaur. Could this mean we'll eventually see Peppa turn 5? Or will she be stuck in preschool forever, like some kind of cartoon time loop? We all know Madame Gazelle is a vampire. They never say it right out in the show, but there are so many hints. It's almost for sure. Like when she didn't have a reflection in the mirror. But guess what? Maybe Madame Gazelle's pets are vampires too. That would explain why she takes such good care of them. If they're little spooky monsters, who knows what they might do if they get grumpy from not being brushed. Also, the chart that shows when the guinea pigs eat says they eat way more at night than when it's daytime. Could it be because they're more awake when it's dark? Maybe that's also why someone needs to stay with them, even when they're sleeping. It doesn't make sense for a sleepy animal to feel lonely, but if it's awake in the dark when everyone else is asleep, that's different. In one episode, Danny Dog's dad spotted a polar bear on a cold island. Sounds pretty normal, until you remember that Penny Polar Bear also exists in Peppa's world. But here's the strange part. Penny walks, talks, goes to school, and lives just like everyone else, while the polar bear Danny's dad saw behaves like a regular wild animal. Confusing, right? And it doesn't stop there. Take Miss Crocodile, for example. She works at the zoo, wears clothes, and chats with other characters. Yet in another episode, we see regular crocodiles at the zoo snapping at Grandpa Rabbit. So how does this work? Why do some animals evolve into people while others stay wild? It makes you wonder if, in Peppa's world, there was some strange turning point where certain species adapted to live like humans. No more hunting, no more food chain battles, just schools, playgrounds, and jobs. Lions don't chase gazelles, and polar bears don't chase seals. But if that's true, does Penny Polar Bear have a cousin who's still out there in the Arctic, living like a regular polar bear? And what about Peppa herself? Could she have distant relatives who are wild boars roaming the forest? In Peppa Pig, we always hear Grandpa Pig was a sailor. But guess what? There are lots of hints that he might be telling a lie. Maybe he was a pirate when he was young. Really? There are so many things that make you wonder if he's telling the truth about his adventures. He has a parrot named Polly. Parrots are cool. But pirates loved having them as pets. That's a bit strange, right? And get this. In one of the episodes, Daddy Pig gives George a pirate hat. Why would a sailor have a pirate hat? Sailors and pirates don't like each other. Maybe you think Grandpa Pig beat a pirate and kept the hat. But then, why let George wear it? And here's another funny thing. Grandpa Pig has a pirate flag with a skull on his boat. That's what pirates use. Even if it's just for fun. Shouldn't he tell Peppa and George to play like sailors instead? Are Peppa and Susie really best friends? We know that sometimes Peppa and Susie fight because Peppa can be bossy and not very nice. Like when she talks and makes Susie annoyed. And their biggest fight happened when Peppa accused Susie of cheating after losing to her in a card game. But one day, Susie decided to trick Peppa. She made up a pretend friend named Leo the Lion just to be mean to Peppa and say Leo did it. Susie came to Peppa's house to play and said she had a new friend you couldn't see, who wasn't even real. Peppa wanted to be a good friend, so she pretended to see Leo. She thought maybe Susie wasn't feeling well and was imagining things, but having Leo at Peppa's house made Susie act mean. She called Peppa silly, said Peppa didn't know anything, made lion sounds, and even said bad things about Peppa when she tried to play too. We all know Leo wasn't real, Susie. You used that trick to get even with Peppa. For all the time Peppa wasn't nice to you. Let's talk about Mandy Mouse. She's special because she uses a wheelchair to get around. It's cool that the show has someone like Mandy, but there's a little thing that makes you think differently about her. Even though Mandy is a mouse and acts like a person, just like Peppa and her friends, we see that Madame Gazelle has guinea pigs that look like real guinea pigs. And there are other normal guinea pigs in the show too. Now guess what? Mice and guinea pigs are both little furry animals called rodents. So why do the mice act like people, but the guinea pigs don't? Maybe most mice in Peppa Pig's world are just normal animals, and Mandy is different. But maybe she wasn't always different. This funny thing, plus her wheelchair, makes you wonder if Mandy used to be a regular mouse. Sometimes, scientists use mice for tests. Maybe something happened to Mandy that made her change and act like a person, but it also made her unable to walk. Who knew Mandy might have such a surprising story? In Peppa's world, when someone's feeling under the weather, who do they call? Well, sometimes it's Dr. Bear, the friendly family doctor. He listens to chests, checks temperatures, and offers medical advice. But hold on a second. What happens when Goldie the fish or Polly Parrot doesn't feel good? They call the vet, Dr. Hamster to be precise. Now, on the surface, this seems normal, right? Animals get sick, they need a doctor, and other animals get sick too, so they need a different doctor. But let's really think about this for a second. Everyone in Peppa's world is an animal. So, why the distinction? Why isn't Dr. Bear just the animal doctor for all animals? Is there some unspoken societal structure at play here? Are there different medical schools for different species? It raises so many questions. Is Dr. Bear specialized in pig physiology? Does he have a deep understanding of muddy puddle-related injuries? And what about Dr. Hamster? Is her expertise limited to non-human mammals? Or does she also treat birds, reptiles, and even insects within the Peppaverse? We see a diverse range of animal species in Peppa's world, all coexisting and communicating. They go to school together, work together, and even have tea parties. Yet, when it comes to healthcare, there's this clear divide. It suggests a level of biological or perhaps even social stratification that the show never explicitly stated. Could it be that the creators are subtly reflecting real-world medical specialization? Just like we have pediatricians, cardiologists, and neurologists, perhaps in Peppa's world, Dr. Brown Bear focuses on the common ailments of the more prevalent land mammals, while Dr. Hamster has a broader expertise across different animal types. Or is there a more unsettling explanation? Could it be that the different species have vastly different physiologies that require completely separate medical knowledge? Think about it. We never see Dr. Bear treating a fish, or Dr. Hamster giving Peppa her vaccinations. It's as if their medical expertise is strictly delineated by some unseen boundary. What could that boundary be? Species? Class? Something else entirely? Have you seen Miss Rabbit? She does so many things. She flies helicopters, saves people, and sells everything. It looks like there are many of her, right? Like she can make copies of herself. But guess what? That's not it. Is she a bunch of clones? Or maybe some kind of magic person? Nope. Miss Rabbit does something much easier than that. She's actually a secret spy for the people who run England, working for the Queen. You don't believe it? In the episode where everyone goes to see the Queen, you can see that Miss Rabbit and the Queen know each other. And when you think about all the things Peppa's family sees her doing, it looks like Miss Rabbit is watching the pig family. If you think about it, you'll see that Miss Rabbit isn't everywhere. That's a trick. She only goes where Peppa's family goes. Since we only see what the pig family sees, it looks like there are lots of Miss Rabbits. But no, she's just watching Peppa and her family. We still don't know why. So those are just some of the unanswered questions in Peppa Pig. Do you have answers to these questions? Or some mysteries we missed? Let us know in the comments.